Yo, 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 what is up? I am super excited for this. All right, so let me just turn down the music in my ears. Okay, all right. Oh, what? I fucked up one thing. Hold on. Need to put the chapter in the bottom. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Okay, cool. What is up, everyone? I am here with another amazing chapter, 1128 of One Piece, and I am super excited to get into it because this chapter I've been waiting on because we had that sweet break week. So I have been more than ready for this. I have so many theories and so many thoughts on this. I can't wait to get them all out. Um, so I put out a video about my three admirals can save the world in One Piece on TikTok. And then if you are fans of that One Piece talk, or even if you're not, I called in to their latest show. It was at the very end. You can find it on the little scroll bar because they have it time stamped. And I dropped a theory about Emu and Lily, and how I think things went between them. It's really good, in my personal opinion, obviously. But no, I really enjoyed it. A lot of people have given me some great feedback. They think it's, good. Um, so if you could go over there and watch that, I will also be doing a theory video a little bit later, kind of detailing it a little bit more. So, um, just get ready for that. That's going to be really great. Also, I will also be doing a few more videos. I have a My Hero Academia one, and then I will be doing another live stream, um, doing the last few chapters of JJK that I haven't read yet because I know that it just ended. And I have two other live streams coming up as well. I'm going to be having one with the broker. Um, he is a theorist that calls into that One Piece talk all the time. I told him to make a YouTube channel. He hasn't really put out anything yet, so hopefully I can, bring him on and we'll go theory for theory, which would be a lot of fun. And then on top of all of that, I will also be doing a Black Clover stream with the Chestnut Tanuki coming up. So that'll be on the 20th of October. So without further ado, let's jump into this chapter. All right, so we start off, and it looks like One Piece has the cover of Shonen Jump, which is really awesome looking. Luffy dripped out, and he looks great. It also is showing, looks like an alt art of Shanks from the One Piece card game, so that's super cool too. Um, I'm really into the One Piece trading card game, so let's check out Oda's notes. Congrats on the 6.5 years, Akutami-kun. Take this time to recover and let's grab a bite to eat. So, again, Oda, he's just the GOAT in general, but I love how he pays homage and talks to all these people about, them finishing up and wrapping up their mangas, and it's such a breath of fresh air, really, because a lot of the times Shonen Jump doesn't even give credit to the people that have been serialized in their books forever. Like, they didn't even give Naruto the cover when he ended his thing. I don't even think My Hero did, or JJK at this point. So, like, Oda's just that guy. So so big shout out to Oda. 1 second. Okay. Uh, All right, let's jump into it. Okay, what is this? It looks like we have a really cool color spread here. And it looks like all of the straw hats are like wearing like Hogwarts outfits, like the button down and everything, and they're riding broomsticks. You have Jinbei and Zoro just kind of chilling on the dragon. They're not using their brooms. Hmm. Then you have Brook and Chopper riding on the broomstick upside down. Luffy's just grabbing a hold of it and flying along for the ride. Sanji's like surfing on it while Usopp hangs off it. Robin looking like Hermione, the way that she is just sitting on it sideways. And then Frankie being Frankie turned his into like a motorcycle that has like 5 broom heads. And Nami's riding on the seat in front of him. That's super cool. I like this cover spread. It's really dope. So that's super cool. And the dragon looks very interesting too. It looks like one of the ones from Punk Hazard, but like all grown up. All right, let's get back to it. Now, if you guys remember my last chapter reaction, I've had a little bit of time to think. I think that they are in a town that is all Lego and stuff like that because all of them are humans in that town. Like the 2 people we saw last chapter that we thought maybe were giants, I think that those are also humans as well. So, and maybe they're like in like a play set, almost like um what's his name? Loki is like playing with them like toys. So, um Sanji said, too many dudes around for this to be a dream. And now he says, what kind of dreams are you having? And he said, in that case, Nami-san, let's fly. And he just starts skywalking away. And he's like, yeah, careful, this place is falling apart. I woke up on the other end of town. Okay, yeah, so it looks like this whole town is made out of Legos. I heard a noise and I followed it till I found this goof beating up a big rabbit. You could have taken that cat lion thing, right, Usopp? That's so funny. And then Usopp's like, it already had me in its mouth when I came to. I totally lost my cool. Usopp says, here's where I'm at. Our threads resemble what the warriors of Elbaf are always wearing, but there's no way they'd have clothes that fit us. We're talking about an island of giants after all. And Nami looks at the Lego structure. She says, let's say this is Elbaf. Could we have been gigantified? Then again, this tree is definitely fake. And then they say, I think there's people in town. We won't clear this up without chatting to them. Besides, this area is too vast and we have no idea which way the sea is. And Luffy says, you're right. Let's head to town. The others don't seem to be here. How do you know? My radar isn't picking up Robin-chan. And then he goes, just like sniffing. What a weirdo. And says, are you a hound? Ain't nothing but a hound dog. You heard? So then we go and we see the castle. I'm telling you, this is why I'm on one, bro, because this is definitely a Lego castle and they are the perfect size of the Lego area. And they say, let's just ask about them in town. It's time for adventure. Woohoo! Why are you so amped up? You realize we know literally nothing about this place, right? This is such a wide open space, but I can't feel any winds. Seriously. It's eerie. Don't fear, Nami-san. I'm here for you. And then all of a sudden it's like, something's coming, huh? Wait a minute. Yeah, that's gross. Whoa. It says, hello there. Oh man, a grasshopper? That's so cool. And this dude has like a bike tricked out grasshopper. And it says, you must be newcomers. See? And look, they are the size of the grasshopper. You know, people like to be like, dude, bro, you they're already in Elbaf. They're this, they're that. Obviously not, right? Um, and it says, no way. Nuh-uh. Keep that bug away. Who are you, old timer? Where is this place? Do you know where our crewmates are? That's a lot of questions. My apologies. I'm in too much of a rush to stay and chat. Just remember, the vast land belongs to the sun god. God? Even the Big Stein Castle, which I help maintain, is the domain of deities like the great It's Cat. Oh, someone lives there? No, a cat. Oh, our bad. We kind of whooped that cat. To put it simply, this is a land of gods. Bro, I swear to God, I be calling this shit because all of them think these animals that are the side big ass animals, they think they're gods. That's why the rabbit that they beat the hell out of was the ear god, and then there's the cat god, and then there's the sun god. I don't know what the sun would be, but it's just like, dude, all of these things are not actually they're Elbaf size, but all these people are not. As you can tell, this dude is riding a grasshopper, and then says, "Now then, I must be off. The needle god must be starving by now." Oh my god, the hedgehog. And it says, all that uproar over the ear god being burned really delayed me. If you're hungry, head to town for some fodder rations. Interesting. Also, heed this warning. Do not follow this road. The rabid guardians protecting the sun god's temple beyond that point, no one has ever ventured past there and returned to tell the tale. That wording, take it back before oh my god. She's like, please, God, do not say that. Luffy is gonna hear that and go, oh, I'm heading there. I'm heading there for sure. It says fidget fidget, and all of a sudden Luffy just takes off, and everyone's like, wait. And then Usopp's like, thanks a lot, Grams. Ah. And then Nami winks at him and says, sorry about all this. And he's like, huh? And then Zoro's like, rabid guardians, huh? And then they're like, huh? Like the dude's like, huh? And then it's like, you and Luffy basically enable each other at this point. Don't you ever think things through? And then all of a sudden the grasshopper dude looks over and says, what happened to the castle? And Luffy's like, this place reeks of adventure. Yo, this chapter is fucking the one. I'm collecting dubs. That's all I hear. Um, but not only that, I feel like I'm like Luffy right now. This adventure is just fucking awesome. I want to see this. I'm wondering if they have like Chopper and they're treating him like a god because they've been treating all these other people like they're gods. All these other animals. And they're like running after him. And they're like, didn't you hear him? Rabid guardians, gods, hold up, Luffy. And then someone's like, this place is seriously huge. Can't see any buildings ahead. Huff, huff. Just how long is this freaking road? Wait, look at that castle. Doesn't it look like the other one? And it's like, zip. And then Luffy's just running, and it's like, someone's running this way. They're in Elbaf gear too. Whatever, I'll just dodge him. And then he just runs into it's like his reflection. I knew it. I knew it, dude. I fucking knew it. And it just cracks, and it's like, what? The sky is breaking. And Zoro's like, what the hell is this? I was like, huh? And Luffy's like, what? Like, and then someone's like, wow, look, the sky, it's coming from the holy temple. No, over there? What's going on? Everything's going to hell. And then Nami's like, it's a giant room. We can't still be on that huge ship, though. And then it says, this isn't like any of the cabins they had. What's up with this wire netting? And it says, I'll bet there's genuine giants this way. Is this whole place some kind of pet cage? And then someone says, this is the worst. Guys, are you there? What was that noise? You help me. What? And it's Chopper, and he's like, "Wow, I'm so glad to see you." And it says, there, Chopper. Everything's gonna be okay. This collar was made of steel. I couldn't get it off. I was sure I was going to die. This is clearly a giant's room, so what's with all the human-sized clothing? We must have been dressed up like dolls. And it says, you owe me for this hug. And then she's like, huh? Oh, so Nami's like, you owe me for this hug. And then Usopp's like, that's cold. You were scared earlier too. And then it says, still, this is some fine craftsmanship. Craftsman, this sun god must be very skilled. Listen, I'm not gonna say I was right, but I was fucking right about a lot of this. They were not worshiping Chopper though, so that's different. But still, very interesting stuff. And it says, there's so many of these blocks. That whole country was made out of them. That explains the horrible scent. From when we were grilling up the rabbit, it must have been burning all the plastic. Hey, check it out. From here, the view is never ending. Wait, it's see-through. It's like normal glass on this end. What kind of magic mirror is this? It's like two-way glass. And then Sanji's like, Nami-san, I volunteer to clean the ladies' room on the ship. And then it says, don't you dare. And then it says, so this is some kind of sick hobby. The giant likes to watch the animals and people trapped in that blocked world. And then someone said, oh, and Usopp says, that's creepy, but this confirms we're on Elbaf, right? This is a real giant's room, so there must be a real giant island out there. And Luffy says, for real? Heck yeah. Nami says, how can you be so sure? All we can really say is a giant's behind this. And Chopper says, we should escape. Where are the others? It'd be bad if the giant came back and caught us here. And then Usopp says, why not head back inside and squeeze the townspeople for some info? They seemed a little weird, but it's better to face them than risk a confrontation with a giant. Are you listening, Luffy? And it's like, yeah, I just thought I'd blow this guy away first. Ugh, go for it. And it's a snake with like a helmet. That's kind of wild. And then there's there's rats. It says squeak, squeak, and they're just giant rats. And then all of a sudden they're like, and above us is a crow. Don't tell me these are those rabid temple guardians. How is this a temple though? I'm still full from the rabbit, so I'm just gonna send these guys flying. I wonder if Loki's behind this. Because, so, hear me out. I feel like Loki has transformed into all of these animals. I think he's been a snake before. Either that or this could be referenced to like the Midgard serpent. And then the rats as well, and a crow. I feel like Loki in myth has turned into all these creatures. And then all of a sudden you see footsteps and it says, wah, yeah. And then all of a sudden the person has like a question mark above their head. And they're like wearing this like almost like this deer head with these antlers, and they have this staff. and they're like, all right, like dot dot dot, and it says, "Don't play around, guys. If you don't finish them off before the sun god gets here," and then it says, "Fwomp." And it says, "Wait, Luffy, that's overkill. Hey, I'm not the one who busted the fireplace and let the flame spread." And then it says, "Why, it can't be. My beloved temple." And then it says, Luffy's in gear 5, and he's like, "Yeah." Oh my god, and everything's just crazy right here. Oh my goodness. This is very interesting. And then he's just like up, he's in his full gear 5 form. And then you see like Zoro walking, real cold like. And then all of a sudden Usopp looks and it says, "Luffy, this is bad. The sun god's back. Let's run for it." And it says, "Craw." And it says, "Mugen." And then all of a sudden Luffy's like, "Gum gum." Booming Dawn pistol, and just like punches through him with Conqueror's coating. Bro, why are you going so hard at this snake, dude? And then it says, "Philemon Gonder." Wahaha, hurry, Luffy. That giant is huge. This is so messed up. And then all of a sudden they see the cat, and the cat's like pissed off, and then it says, "Bam." And it says, the Chopper says, uh, "It says you'll pay for this." He's like, "Yeah, yeah. Anyway, look at this." So Luffy's back from being gear 5. And then it says, "I couldn't find any proper loot there, but it's the blueprint for the block country. It's a map. Here they come." And then it's like, "How dare you devile my beloved country?" And it says, "If we keep going straight, we'll bust through the mirror on the other side. We'll be free if we smash the wall behind it too." And then it says, "Great, let's get out of here." And then it says, "What? The sun god is incest." What? Why would you say it like that? Incensed? Oh, incensed? And then it says, "The adventures never slow down." And then the person with the mask on says, "I won't let you escape." Oh, this is interesting. The fact that Luffy went gear 5, went bananas for a second, um, and then like Conker's coding punched that fucking snake like he was treating it like it was a top tier villain is crazy. But then to turn around and then he just like goes right out of it. He like jumps down and starts running with them. And then in the next frame you see him, he doesn't have his cloak anymore. And then when he's on the um hold on, let me like right here, he when he's on the back, let me see if I can, where is it? Here we go, zoom. It's hard to tell if he's gear 5 on the back of that cat. Yeah, I don't know. I will say though, this is a great chapter. I really like this. This is giving us a lot of mystery. I feel like Loki in Myth has those horns that come up like that. So I wonder if this is Loki or if this is a different giant. I feel like Loki maybe wouldn't be this guy, but I'm just really unsure. Like really unsure. It could be. This could just be a hobby of his. In fact, hold on. Let's go back here. It looks like this person is just walking through like a castle themselves, and just like casually walking through the halls of a castle, and then he heard a noise and then busted over. And honestly, it could be a woman too. This could be, it could be Heimdall, it could be Hera, it could be like a ton of different mythological person. This could be like Enchantress, you know, like there's so many fucking characters to pull from when it comes to like Viking myth and stuff like that. I am very interested because it's wearing the head of a deer and it's got horns, and I wonder if that's why it kept copper, because it's supposed to be like similar to that. I don't know. It's very interesting though. I'm digging it. I like the I like the myth that goes along with this. I like the way things are looking. It's just super interesting. Um, so um, yeah, I don't know. It's a very interesting chapter. I will say that. Um, Super interesting. I will say I've been taking a lot of dubs this chapter. I knew these other people were the size of the bugs and everything that goes around with it, and so I'm catching W after W over here. Um, but it was definitely a good chapter. Not a lot of answers, kind of some, but not, you know, Oda's great at that. He'll just, set you up with way more questions once he answers a few things. So, what I will say is this was a pretty good chapter to come back to. So he usually comes back with a chapter that answers a few things, gives us a little bit more. And then next chapter will be probably a little bit more of the same. And then his last chapter before he goes on his next break will probably be somewhere like, something crazy happens, like a reveal, like who is in this mask, and stuff like that. So just know that this is a great chapter. I really enjoyed it. It was very crazy that Luffy just went fucking straight banana land and just punched this snake right in the throat, basically. And used conquerors while doing it. That was bananas. Um, One thing that I would also like to point out that is a little insane, is when you look at the serpent after he punches it, there is black stuff coming off of the serpent. I'm actually just seeing this for the first time. Almost as if the serpent is like a form of black magic or something. Honestly, it looks to me like this serpent is having the stuff come off of it like a Gorosei member, like when Saturn was killed. And it would make sense that Oda would be showing this to me and showing this to us right now after we saw that, because this serpent, these rats, and the crow could be like they all have like a piece of something on them. Like if you look, the crow has a skull. The rats look like they have like a sweater or something, or like something on them, and then the serpent has a helmet, almost as if like they're enchanted by those things. So I mean, it's possible that, and this person is like cloaked in black. Um, So it's really interesting that after Luffy conquers punched that fucking snake, that all of a sudden it started leaking like when Saturn got fucking destroyed. So very, very cool. I am enjoying this. This has got that actual panel actually makes things really interesting for me. Um, so Very, very cool. So, hmm. It looks like Zoro cut the crow. We don't get to see the crow afterwards, though. Hmm. Very interesting. I'm very perplexed by this. I'll have to think about this a little bit more about what this means for the future. Because this could mean if someone is able to do something similar to emu, what could happen here is we could meet someone who is using the same thing that emu is using as the Gorosei because they are an extension of emu and these were an extension of this person and we could find out how Luffy can fight the Gorosei by using something specific against them. Like here he used a Conqueror's Coded Punch straight out the gate. Um, and so if he used a Conqueror's Coded Punch straight out the gate against this serpent, this snake, and that is what happens, where like it starts leaking like Saturn did, and like it seems like the same thing could possibly happen. That just means that there's a good possibility that this is where Luffy learns how he can fight the Gorosei. Yo, Zach the Goat, what is up? We are reviewing 1128 and it is crazy. So, this is the interesting thing is when Luffy punched this thing, it had the helmet on, and then when it fell, the helmet was off. Almost as if there needs to be like a conduit. And I wonder if the Gorosei's conduits are their actual skeletons. Because the only thing that was left after Saturn got his power taken was the helmet or was the skeleton. And you can't see it here. And maybe that's just supposed to be the inference because it looks like the helmet is flying off as he's punching him in the neck. Um, it could be that the helmet came off and that's how the power is zapped from him. So super interesting. Super interesting. I'm so interested to see where they go from here. This is a crazy chapter, just because of the implications that come with what is happening here. But again, so glad to see that I was right, that they were in a basically a Lego land created by the giants, and all the people there were humans just like living in a cage, basically. Um, Very interesting that Chopper, being an animal, wasn't put into the cage. That's a possibility that he means that the people would worship him because if they think that all the big animals from Elbaf are gods, or there could have been a different reason because Chopper has horns and he is wearing a deer helmet. It could be something that belongs with him. I've often said that Chopper's devil fruit and what he means for the story and what he might be as what I believe to be the forest god. I think that there's a lot of credence to the possibility that someone who's claiming to be the sun god is looking at the forest god in a certain way. So, um, but yeah, super interesting chapter. That last part, once I went over it again, made me really go, "Oh shit, this is legit." Um, so, yeah, I would say this is like a 7. There's a lot of really funny parts. Like when they're talking about the guy on the grasshoppers, like, yeah, we gotta do this, this, and this, and then all of a sudden Usopp has to shut him up, and everyone's whistling and acting like, like, oh yeah, we didn't just fuck up all three of those animals that you're talking about, and the castle. And then I even love how this guy's like, yeah, you can't go there. No one ever returns to tell the tale. And then Nami's like, that wording, take it back before. And then Luffy's like, oh, yo, I know what that means. I'm going. Um, Super funny. And I even like Sanji being like, don't you and Luffy are basically enabling each other. That was funny. Um, the fact that Luffy saw in the mirror someone, he's like, it's all right, I'll just dodge him, and then just like totally headbutted the mirror. That was really funny. Like I said, I felt like I knew that these guys were all smaller. They weren't giants. Um, when they came through. Um, the fact that they found Chopper was really cool. Mm, but yeah, I'm very interested to see where this goes. Um, yeah, the serpent stuff, and like I said, I feel like these are all animals that are what are they? They're like animals that are talking about myth. Like, okay, so if you've ever watched Record of Ragnarok, you know Odin, he has two crows on his shoulder. There's a crow here. If you know about the myth of Ragnarok and the Midgard serpent that leads to its destruction, you know that the snake is part of that. These three mice, I'm just not quite sure what their significance is, but I'm sure there is one. It seems like they're going with the theme. Um, and just the way this person looks and the way their staff kind of looks like a sun, um and it's the full decked out gear is very interesting to me. um like I said, Luffy and Zoro facing off against the crow and the serpent, very interesting. We don't get to see what happens to the serpent after it's cut, but it looks like after Luffy conquers Coates' punches the serpent, it seems to me like it's dying like the Gorosei did. Luffy jumps back down after turning Gear 5 and then literally is just like, it's fine. He reverts back to normal and doesn't look like old man Luffy. So I wonder if that means that he's just getting better at utilizing Gear 5th now. Um, and so this is really interesting because the same symbol that the deer mask guy has on his staff, he also has on his shield. So uh very interesting stuff. So yeah, I would say this chapter is like a 7.5. It had a lot of really funny moments. Um, it had some interesting stuff, and I think that the next chapter will give us a lot more information as far as what to expect moving forward. But overall, this was a great chapter. So all right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me. Please like, follow, subscribe, all the good stuff. If you're on TikTok and YouTube, if you're on TikTok, just know I have a YouTube, and if you're on YouTube, just know I also have a TikTok, where I go live on both. So, yeah, just make sure that you're liking that video. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. Crazy chapter. I can't wait for the next one. I think 1129 is going to give us some crazy stuff, but probably 1130 will probably be like a really peak chapter. Oda loves when he like wraps up like a set of 10 chapters. He loves to just bring the heat. Um, especially right before break week. So make sure you're following so that way you are ready for when I go live for my next one, 1129 and 30, as well as I also am going to be doing a theory for theory with the broker, and then also the Black Clover 2 chapters that just came out with the Chestnut Tanuki on the 20th, as well as putting out some content here and there on YouTube and TikTok. But as always, thank you guys so much for joining me. And thank you guys, because I always say One Piece is better as a conversation. And I love having that conversation with you guys. So if you had any thoughts on this, please let me know in the comments as well. So Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Jana.